Hello and welcome. I'm Emma and this is the 10-Minute Quilter. This is the second attempt at doing this. I did this earlier in the week, and then when I loaded it onto the computer to edit it, I discovered that I had a great big blob of dried toothpaste right there. So that all had to be scrapped. So this is round 2 and I'm a bit further on with it anyway, so I think it works quite well. So I've been doing some work on my long arm this week. So this is my Bernina Q20 long arm quilting machine that is on an 8-foot frame. I purchased this I think about 3 to 4 years ago, and I bought it second hand on eBay. And I love it. I love it. It's my little treat for myself. This was really. However, I'm 3 years in and I still feel like I've got my training wheels on with it. I'm still very unsure of it. I'm very lacking in confidence, and I know that's completely my fault. You know, if I put things on and I practiced a little bit more, then I'd get better, wouldn't I? So anyway, so this is a Carpenter style quilt that I made quite a few years ago and has come out of the cupboard. Yes, the cupboard. And I've loaded it on. It's got 80/20 wadding inside it, and the backing fabric is just something I picked up from my local quilt shop with just stars all over it, which I thought was quite apt. I'm quilting with Aurifil Thread, and I started at the top of the quilt with the cream. And I decided that I was going to do all the cream sections first and then come back up to the top and start with a new colour. As you can see, I've now got a green on. And so I did the first pass, and then I put basting stitches all the way through the quilt in rows at regular intervals. So I basted all the way down to the bottom, which meant that I could take it off one roller, which means that I can roller it backwards and forwards and quilt, do all the sections in the green, and then I can come back up and start again with a different colour. Great plan. All going well so far. So I started at the top of the quilt and I decided I was going to do 1-inch lines, a 1-inch line in the triangles. So the first mistake was that on my ruler I was using the 3/4 inch line, because I thought 3/4 inch and then you have a 1/4 of an inch that you lose with the foot. Only I didn't realise that the ruler actually accounted for that extra 1/4 of an inch, so I should have been actually using the 1-inch line instead of the 1/4 inch line. So mistake number 1, that's fine. Okay, we're doing 3/4 inch lines. Job done. Carried on. Now for me, half of the process is deciding what to do, because I have great aspirations but not necessarily the skill level to be able to do what I aspire to do. So I've been looking on Pinterest and Google and things like that and seeing all these beautiful feathers, but knowing that I haven't got enough practice in to do that. So cousin Tracy gave me a great piece of advice when we were chatting it through, and she said to me, do what you can do. Right, I can do straight lines. Although having looked at some of the lines on here, obviously not, because there's one or two that are a little bit wobbly, but there you go. So yes, put the ruler base on, decided I was going to do ruler work, so that's fine. Quite happy with what I'd done, and then got to the bottom of the quilt with the cream and quilted the bottom 2 triangles. I will put some photos in. Rolled back to the top of the quilt to find that I'd done something completely different in those 2 triangles at the top. What a numpty. You know, for the time it would have taken me to roll it back up to check what I'd done. Anyway, so something had to get unpicked. So unpicked the bottom 2 triangles, which was a fairly quick process. I have to say, it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. And then redid them and then realised that I'd done straight lines on the side triangles as well. I ain't unpicking it, it's staying. That's the way it's meant to be. It's meant to look like that. So it's Thursday. My plan is today to crack on. I'm gonna try and get this finished today. I'm gonna get some music on and I'm gonna push hard to see how much I can get done of it today. I also decided that it needed something with a little bit of curve in it, so I decided I was going to do some ribbon candy. Yeah, that's not easy, is it? Again, something that I should have perhaps practiced a bit more before I got going. But they are getting better, funnily enough. The more I'm doing, it is getting a bit more of a flow to it, which is quite nice. So yeah, that's my plan. Right, hello, it's now Tuesday. What's the trouble with days of the week at the minute? I'm all over the place. It's Tuesday. Pushed hard on the Thursday, managed to get it all done on the Thursday, which was great. So I managed to get it off the frame and I took it into work on Thursday and got it all trimmed up, ready to go for binding. And that was my next issue, of course, was binding. Because it was an old project, it's been in, I don't know how, I can't even remember when I made this one, I really can't. But it's obviously been there a while. And initially I thought I'd like to try and get some of the green to bind it, but I couldn't find anything that was close to it on the shelves. And I've looked through the cupboard, through my stash, and I can't find any leftovers of this at all. So I must have used pretty much all of it up. The only thing I could find was the cream. Now, I'm not overly keen on binding in cream because I think, you know, it shows the dirt too much, but it was all I had, so needs must. And also I've graded another project bag to get this out, so I really hope I don't regret that in the months to come when I come back to that project. Anyway, cream binding, 2.5 inches wide, folded double, placed onto the front of my machine, and then I will fold that over and I will sit and hand stitch that down over the next couple of nights in front of the telly. It will take me a couple of nights because it is quite a big quilt, but also my hands don't like doing a lot of handwork, so they do start to ache after a while. So yeah, so that will go down and then it's done. I've got to take out my basting stitches that I put in as well. And I also marked up with one of the Aqua water erasable pens, so I need to make sure that I take that out before I then stick it in the wash, you know, to get it all washed up nice and neatly. I'm in trouble with my words as well. I will stick some die catchers in with this because it's quite bright colours and I am a little concerned. I don't think they'll run, but we'll stick some die catchers in just to make sure anyway, just in case. So I will wash this on a very delicate cycle and I know I will dry it flat. We've got some good weather coming up, I think, over the next few days, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get that over and done with. So really pleased with how it's come out. Learned a lot. Mainly, I think, to take photos or make notes of what you do at the beginning of the quilt, so that you don't fluff it up and do something different down the other end. And I enjoyed doing the ribbon candy. It was a bit of a challenge. I do think they got better as I went down. I think that the difference in the width was what was throwing me. They're really nice sort of in this area. Then when they get a bit bigger, I started to lose it a little bit. But they did get much better as I was going along, which was good. I decided I wasn't going to put myself through it with this brown section, so I literally just did a stipple in that one. I was sort of getting past caring by that stage. And it's all Aurifil threads, and I'm really pleased with it actually. I'm chuffed that it's done. I'm going to get that binding done, and then that's another one that's ticked off the list, so that's that is brilliant. I'm really, really pleased about that. So, like I say, I was doing it for my daughter. I'm not sure if it's her cup of tea, but if she doesn't like it, I'm sure I'll find somebody else who will.